It's November 8th, my birthday, 2016, and I'm trying to modify this circuit here. Here I've got the hot side going through the cap and the other side going through to ground from the cap. But the transformer ground is going to the first side, top side of the spark gap, so it's not really grounded except through the lamp and everything, and the cap, through the lamp, through the Kapagen coil to ground. But it's through the spark gap this time, so I still get the same frequency of, but it seems to be easier more to regulate, but maybe not. Yeah. That's 10 amps, 9 amps, and it jumps up and it flutters like that. Really crazy. I turn it all the way up full blast. Now I couldn't turn it off. Turn it on. Wow, here's where I can't turn anything off. It's saturated. If I disconnect the ground from the lamp, it's not going to work. I'm disconnected from the spark gap. No, it ain't working. It's through two caps also. That's the input amperage. And there it goes, it's going to saturate. See that? And it jumps up, and I didn't even touch it. Guess what? Let's see if it gets hot. Little tiny spark, orangish looking. Little tiny one. Can't turn it off. So, but I didn't ruin my camera. Seems like it's still recording. But yeah, it just saturates itself. If I take the ground off completely, no ground, and it still works. Doesn't matter. Yeah, there ain't no difference. Ground has no effect, and that's a good ground too. I got it going to a evaporator unit in the ground about a foot down, a real wet area. I know it's hooked up. Yep, there's the pipe, the clamps. It's hooked down there really good. That's some pretty thick gauge wire all soldered together. So, I always thought the ground had an effect on this, but I guess it doesn't. Of course, I only have one ground. If I had two grounds like the real Kapagen circuit, it might make a difference. Haven't done that though. Anyway, the more caps you add, the brighter lamps go and the amps go up, with or without a ground. So I don't have a diode in there, but the diode is at a triac. It's acting as a pulse generator, pulsing the. Ooh, that's getting a little warm. Yeah, that's getting warm too. Anyway, that's the end of this circuit for today. November 8th, 2016, on my happy birthday. I'm only 64 or 46 if you turn it around. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, so I think I'm going to wrap it up with this guy. I don't believe you can turn around and get 6 to 9 amps or even 5 amps or 4 amps out of the output unless there was some way you can put it through a bunch of caps and build it up, boost it up, and then have it, the voltage and the current adjusted to run an inverter to plug it back in. That's the only way to loop it that I can see. I haven't done that yet. but I tried a few experiments. They're in my videos, and I had a battery and an inverter on it, and seemed to be running at a certain frequency. I don't know if the dimmer steps up the frequency in here or not, but it's running at 60 hertz because it's through 60 hertz mains, unless there's a boost in frequency through this iron core mott. So I don't know if it's really in resonance. Usually in resonance, current goes down, the voltage goes up, and less resistance in the resonant circuit. The fundamental frequency is, the fundamental resonant frequency is what you want. So I don't know, I still feel a little bit doubtful about this thing. Of course I didn't find any way to loop anything yet either, so to make it self-run. Anyway, these are all attempts, and that's it. I'm signing off on this. It's 5 100-watt lamps hooked up to Kapagen with 2 mott caps and 1 mott transformer to ground. Works with or without the ground.